Can you believe it's April already? I would play a trick on you, but I can't think of one. I can't think of anything to play other than I'm on early. That's a trick, I guess, but we had something that we have to do this afternoon, so I am coming on early. So we'll see if anybody catches up here to join me live today. Not sure, but maybe, you never know. I usually come on at 2 o'clock Pacific time, but here it is 11:30, and I have got a super cute and fun card to show you today. And it is featuring these absolutely adorable stamps from Peachy Keen. Is that not the cutest? Oh my word, these little chickens. So it's, you, unless you want to do your own faces, you kind of need both of these sets. But this one is called Faceless Chicken. And there is the information. And it's got 3 sayings in it as well. What up, chickie? What's kickin' chicken? And laid any good eggs lately? Okay, let me show you the actual size because they're good size. So, yeah, they're not as little as they look on the front there. They're a good size. And then look at these faces, chickie faces, and there's that information. And again, this is Peachy Keen Stamps. So they had retired, and now they're back out of retirement by request. So fortunate for those of us who love their stamps and all their awesome faces. If you need faces for doll stamps that you have or whatever that don't have faces, go check them out because they have faces of every size. So here are these cute little chicken faces, and they fit right in where they're supposed to there on the chicken. So that is, those are what I'm featuring. And then I am doing, I believe it's called a bridge fold card. So it's a really fun card. Let's get started. So I am using this color of paper as a Stampin' Up paper, and it is called Crushed Curry. I have it cut. I'm going to give you some measurements here ahead of time real quick, okay? So for the base of this card, you need to cut it at 4 1/4 by 8 inches long. And I will give you some scoring measurements, and I will be scoring it here in a minute. You're also going to need, this is the bridge part, and it is 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. So those really are the 2 main pieces of your card. So 4 1/4 by 8 and 1 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then you'll have layer pieces, okay? So the layer pieces, this is for this bridge piece here, and they're just 1/4 of an inch shorter. So it's 1 by 5 1/4. And you just need the 1, and then you'll need 4 strips here that are 1 by 4. So 4 strips 1 by 4. So that's really it for the part of your card. You'll need an inside piece actually of your choice, whatever you decide to decide to make, and that measures at 2 3/4 by 4. So 2 3/4 by 4, and then that's it. Okay, let's do some scoring. Uh-oh, I forgot to actually bring my video up here on my iPad so I can see comments if anybody wants to chat. Be sure to chat if you come on live, because I always love to chat with you. So yeah, all right. So let me get my little tool out here. I'm just using my Martha Stewart scoreboard today. And now this is the 4 1/4 by 8. And on the long side here, we are going to score. I want to make sure I get my scores at the right place. We're going to score at 1 1/4. That's your first score line. So 1 1/4. And then the next one is at 2 1/2. And I always like to just give it a couple of scores. So 2 1/2, 5 1/2. So there we go, 5 1/2, and 6 3/4. 6 3/4. So there we go with that. And that is it for the scoring. Super simple. All right, so now here we go. We have it looking like this with our score lines. The two end pieces that are scored, we're going to fold those backwards. So just fold it away from you. So it's going to look like that. Easy peasy. And then the next score line is going to fold in like that. And on the other side, the same thing. So it ends up looking like this. Very easy. Okay, so there we have that. And then I have my little 4 pieces here. Just grabbing them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so those are going to go on these skinny little panels right here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue those on. So this paper, forgotten the name of it here. Let me grab it. It's a Stampin' Up paper pack as well. It's called In Good Taste Designer Series paper. Now I know that a lot of their papers usually always retire year to year, so you can check and see if they still have this available before it's all sold out. But it's a lot of wood textures and fabric textures and tiles and things like that. It's a really nice collection of papers to have in your stash. I always love the wood grains. Okay, so I'm just going to get adhesive on the backs of each of these and stick them on. And it doesn't really matter to me which pattern of the wood goes where. I just want to get them evenly in the sections here. And I like to put one in and, you know, get it centered as best as I can. And then go to the next so that I can make sure that they line up, you know, top and bottom. So one's not like up higher or lower than the other. Try to make it as less wonky as possible. Okay, so I just got these stamps, the chicken stamps, from Peachy Keen. They arrived in my mailbox the other day and they were so darn cute. I just had to play with them right away. And you could use them for Easter cards easily if you are making Easter cards. Okay, so there's 2 and here's 2 more. I think I'll put this one on the inside. What's nice about this bridge fold card is that you can lay it flat to mail it. but then it stands up for displaying it. So somebody can put it on their desk at work or in their office or on just wherever, put it on a shelf. It's so cute to look at. I have I think this was the very first one I ever made, which sits right here in my stamp room. And I always like looking at it. Nothing's better than the wind at your back, the sun on your face, and your family by your side. And this was an old Stampin' Up set that I used. But yeah, these are just, and then it just lays flat like that and is like a regular A2 size for mailing. And then it pops up really easy. So it's super simple for whoever receives it to understand how it's supposed to go. Okay. So one more strip and we'll be done with that. So I'd love to know where you are watching from if you want to tell me. I am in Oregon on the coast and it's okay weather today, actually. Yesterday we had some beautiful sunshine. The sunshine is always welcome for me here on the coast because we get so much rain. Okay, so there are those pieces. And for the inside piece here, I'm creating a scene. Remember, I'm playing with the chickens, so I'm going to have a little sort of farm scene. But I pulled out this paper here that has looks like kind of clouds on it for sky. Where did I get this paper out of? Oh, I pulled it out of this pack, which is, I have a lot of Stampin' Up because I was a demonstrator. I'm not any longer, but this is the Sunshine and Rainbows Designer Series paper, and this was a free pack that you could get during Celebration. And there is a ton of paper in here. I love the little cloud ones too. So cute. I debated about using that, but then I decided they were too big. So I went with this piece. And that is going to go in my middle section. But before I put it in there, let me bring in some scrap paper here. I've got a blending brush, and what color did I decide to use? I'm going to use, I think, Pear Pizzazz. And I'm just going to make some of this into the ground, the grass. So I didn't want to layer green over the top. I thought, let's just make that green. Super easy. And I'm probably going to go up just that far, just like a little bit. Sorry about my phone ringing there in the background. It's probably another Medicare call. Because I'm getting to be that age, so my phone rings every single day with all of these. I don't answer them. I already know what they're calling about. Okay, so there's my background. Now, I am also using here this die set, which, let me see if I can flip it over without spilling. These are called Chick dies from Stampin' Up, and they coordinate with the Hey Chick stamp set. Love, love, love these. All right. So I'm using, I've already pre-cut some of this stuff out just to make it a little bit faster. I'm using the little barn, the little chicken coop. Had to think about that. I've also cut some fence out with this cute die here. I'm going to use this one in just a bit. It's got super cute corn stalks and all the little pieces to put the corn on. There's eggs. There's ones that cut out the shapes of the stamps and little chicken footprints, I guess, or whatever those are, and a stump there that you can set the chickens on. Okay, so here are the pieces that I cut out because I'm going to do a little bit of paper piecing in here. Let me set this one aside, and hopefully all this check stuff isn't making, let me just move it and see, do I have a plain piece? A lot of times this paper that's got these checks all over in the background make the camera not able to focus very well. Okay, so I've just cut a portion of that barn out, or that chicken coop out, because I'm going to use some of the pieces that are in it. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead. I've pulled out this Stampin' Blend marker here, and there's not a name, it's just got a color number. Okay, and I'm going to color the roof lines here. And let's see here, this whole top piece here is roof, so I can do the whole thing. So cute. I had to make it red. I love red barns. And I realize this is a chicken coop, but still, it's kind of like a barn. It's a barn for the chickens. Okay, and then I'm going to do this part. And the legs. Is that a normal thing that chicken coops set up off the ground like that on legs? I don't know. We had some chickens once when I was growing up, but I don't remember, I don't think it's set up on legs like that. Okay, so that part is sort of done. And then I've got this, I cut this out of Real Red, and this is cut out of that Very Vanilla cardstock. Okay, so I've got here Dark So Saffron, and because you can't really see it very well, let me bring it up. There's like straw or hay in here. So I'm just trying to color that a little bit so you kind of get the idea that that's what's going on here. Now this chicken coop is in the background of our card, really, because there's no way in the world my chickens that I'm putting on here would ever fit into this barn or this chicken coop. But that was the fun of making this bridge fold card, is because you can get the whole idea that this barn is off in the distance. Okay, so there is our hay or straw, whatever that is. And then I'm just taking, not that one, I am taking Light Smoky Slate, and I'm just going to do my best to sort of color in the fence, sort of the wire in the windows. Now it's dark in there, so this part I'm just filling the whole thing in here. Okay, and then I am just going to kind of make little lines here because they're so tiny that I can't do it, you know. I mean, they're just so tiny. There's no way you could make them exactly the way they're supposed to be, and that's okay. Because like I said, it's going to be in the distance, so it's just the idea. All right, and then there's a window up here in the top. Same thing. It's got some hay or straw hanging out of it there. And I will do the same sort of thing. I'm just going to draw some little lines like that. And we'll just get the idea. Okay, and then the doorway, I'm going to go ahead and color that gray as well. Because again, it's kind of dark in there. Oh, that all looks so sloppy, doesn't it? But it'll be all right in the end. Okay, so let me grab some scissors here because I'm going to cut these tiny little pieces out the best that I can. If you've never done paper piecing of any sort, it can be tedious, but it's also fun. All right, so there's that little piece that's going to go in over there. And we need the window for upstairs. Hi, Anna. I am. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, those bunny ornaments. That's actually, it's to make like a Christmas angel. Those, the die that I used, it makes a Christmas angel. But as soon as I saw it, and with it being Easter time, I thought, oh, why not make some little bunny angels? So that's what I had to do. Yes, I am making a fun project. Okay, there's the upstairs window and then the door. Oh my goodness. I wish that you could, that there was a way. Now maybe, I mean, there is a die that cuts out the whole barn, obviously, because that's what I'm using, but it doesn't cut out all these little inside pieces. But you know, you got to make it difficult. You could just use white and color it all in, but it would still be really hard to color in those small areas. Okay, let me get my little garbage bucket here. All right, so now I'm just gonna glue those on. And like I said, this chicken coop is off in the background, so it is not our main focal point, but you just get the idea that it's back there. Oopsie. Now I got glue where I don't want it. I My husband just got home. We are getting a new car this afternoon. We had to order it, and it finally came in. I mean, if you drive by car lots at all, you can tell that the car lots are pretty slim on cars. So yeah, it's been just shy of a 3-month wait since we ordered it. We ordered a Subaru Ascent. So that's what we're getting. All right, there is the chicken coop. And now, is it the same color? It has to be red, right? Red's my favorite color, but yeah, it has to be red. And I bet it's so fun. You said your chickens are laying blue eggs and green eggs. I just think that sounds like so much fun. Okay, so this coop is not done yet because I forgot this part. I want to give it a little, I'm going to see if there's any ink left over on here before I ink it up some more. I want to put some brown in the cracks here. A little antiquing, distressing, whatever you want to call it. So I'm using some soft suede ink because it's right here handy. And I am going light with it because I don't want my straw to be all brown. I just wanted it to pick up the boards, the wood in the coop, really. Give it that definition. And it kind of blends out all the little mistakes, if you will. Okay, there is my little chicken coop. All right, cock-a-doodle-doo. Okay, now then, with this bridge fold card, you don't want anything popping up really in the middle because it will make it too bulky if you want to mail it. Now, if you're not going to mail it, you could probably go ahead and pop something up because you would never be, if you're not ever going to put it in an envelope, you don't really have to worry about there being something bulky in the middle. But because I will most likely be putting this one in an envelope, I don't want anything popped up in the center. Okay, here we go. So this is going to go right there. Cute. I can't wait for you to see the finished chickens. All right, so now I've cut out the fence and I cut 2 pieces, and guess what? It just happens to fit right across that area. Not planned, it just worked out that way. And I remembered to put some double stick tape stuff on the back, or paper, I guess you'd call it double stick paper. It's for cases like this, even though I'm having a difficult time here trying to get it apart. I will get it. Yeah, when you have really fine things to work with like this that it's hard to put glue on, this stuff works really great, but you got to remember to put it on before you cut it out. That's the hard part. All right, let's see. I'm going to put the first one up right about here. Yeah. And then it's going to overlap a little bit, but that's okay because when the card all comes together, you will see. That one was much easier to find and pull apart. Okay, so this is going to overlap a bit. Or is it? No, do I want to overlap it? No, I'm going to do it like this. because it will fit right in there like that. That's okay. Okay, now then I'm bringing in this, and it's going to get glued right on there like that. Isn't that a pretty stripe on the back of that paper? I love it. Well, okay, Anna, you lived in Eugene, and that was where maybe you know some of my family. I had an awful lot of family. They've dwindled down over the years, but I had an awful lot of family that lived in Eugene. And when I was growing up, I grew up in Klamath Falls, Podunk, Klamath Falls. And I always wanted to live in Eugene. I just thought that was the coolest place. And then came along the time of hippies, and when we'd go there, and hippies were just everywhere. And, you know, I'd just be one of those kind of kids probably that was staring, because, oh my goodness, Eugene was, probably still is, the hippie capital of the world, in my opinion. But yeah, I've always loved Eugene. But yes, it is beautiful here, and we have so many fun things with the working bayfront and the aquarium and Nye Beach area. If you haven't been there in a long time down there, it's very cool. It's very eclectic, I would say. And there's just lots of like fun shops and cool restaurants. It's one of those kind of cool areas like you'd see in a movie on TV, where when the shops are opening up, the shopkeepers are out there watering their flowers and sweeping the little, you know, sweeping off in front of their store. And I don't know, it's just a cool little area. Okay, so this is going to get glued on across the front here. And so what I like to do is just turn my piece over, because you can only have glue where it's attaching there. So grab yourself a pencil. And yes, Nancy was a hippie. I don't know if you saw her last video. I sent her some Happy Mail that was very hippie inspired. Tie-dyed Hershey's Kisses that said love and peace on the front, which she always says. And Stampin' Up's little set with the VW bus and the van. I thought, oh, this has to go to Nancy. It's calling her name. All right. Okay, so I'm just putting little marks so I know where to not go past with my glue. And then I can just do that. Put my glue in there. So how many chickens do you have, Anna? And do you have other farm animals too where you live? I grew up with horses. We had, like I said, we had some chickens. I think we had little banty chickens, but I remember one rooster in particular I was not fond of. I think that he kind of liked to go after you. I didn't care much for that. Okay, so I'm gonna put this up about a ½ inch from the bottom. Maybe, well, maybe not quite a ½ inch, in that area somewhere. And I brought my little silicone mat in because I went and put glue on both ends instead of, I was busy chit-chatting instead of paying attention. Typically I put it on one end and then bring it over and put it on the other end. Okay, so let me turn this here so I can line this up and get it as straight as possible. So we had, the only cattle that we had is, I remember Mom and Dad raised one for beef. And of course I got to loving that cow. So when the cow was butchered, I was a very unhappy person and pretty mad at my parents. Oh, even though I knew the whole time, but yeah. Okay, there is the bridge of our card. 30 chickens, wow. Oh, 2 goats, that's fun. Okay, so there you can see how it goes together. It's super easy. And I've still got some pieces here. I'm saving the best part for last. Oh, the anticipation. All right, so I'm bringing back in my little die set here. I love this little sign. So I'm going to use the little sign. And I've got another scrap of that wood paper. And I'm going to cut it out right on that piece there. And I don't want it to move around when I cut it. So yeah, I'm not using the post, so that's why I'm putting it like that. I'm just going to tape that with some Post-it tape and run it through my machine real quick. I will be right back. Okie dokie. See you later, Anna. Thanks for watching. Okay, so here we have this, and now I'm going to bring this back in because there's some wood grain lines etched into this sign, and I just want to pick those up. Oh, you have donkeys. She's got donkeys too. How fun. All right. Don't want it to get too dark because I'm actually going to stamp on this. Just basically wanted it to pick up those lines as best as I could. So there, and there's actually a little screw in there, and I will color that silver or gray. But I'm going to snip off these pieces, which makes it, I mean, there's actually little cut marks in there, so it makes it pretty easy to snip those off. And there I just have then like basically a shingle, if you will. All right, so from the Hey Chick set, I'm going to use this You're a Good Egg. Where is it? Here it is. And let me get some black ink here. It's like I either push too hard into the stamp pad or not hard enough. All right, let's see if this works. You're a good egg. Yay! All right, so that is ready. And then, where'd my little red piece go? Here it is. can set that aside. And I have got mounted up from the other chicken set, the Hey Birthday Chick, the Happy Birthday. So I'm going to stamp that with Versamark because I'm going to heat emboss it with white ink. So since I'm going to do that, I'm going to take my powder tool here, and if you haven't heat embossed before, it's just a good idea to use an anti-static pad or even like a dryer sheet, or this one's from EK Success, or yeah, EK Tools. It's just filled with baby powder, and I know it's baby powder. I say it every time I use it because I can smell it, so I know it's baby powder. And it just brushes that on, puts a little protection there so that if you had some lotion or oil on your fingers at all, that your powder and stuff won't be all over the place when you go to heat emboss. So now I put the lid back on my pad, and I hadn't even stamped it yet. Okay, so this is a clear, it's a watermark ink, but it's like a pigment ink, which means that it doesn't dry fast. You pretty much have to heat set pigment ink, or you have to wait for a while until it dries. Let's see, I can put this more over here because I don't want it that long. All right, happy birthday. And I'll probably trim a little bit off the top too. So yeah, the powder helps your embossing powder not to stick where you don't want it. Only where you do want it. And if it does stick a little bit, I just take a brush and see, I picked up the edge there of my stamp. So I can just grab that with my fingernail and get it away. But if otherwise, you can use a little paintbrush and get all the little spare kernels of embossing ink or powder off of there where you don't want it. Because once it melts on there, it's on there. All right. So let me get my heat tool here and we will get this set. So it's going to be a little bit noisy. I always love the magic of heat embossing. Okay, I'm going to bring my cutter in here, and I'm just going to trim a little bit of this off. That might be a little too much. Let's go with that. Let me see if I can let go of it without it moving all over the place. That's about right, I think. Okay. So I'm going to trim the ends off a little bit here. And I'm going to flag the ends. There we go. Oh, lost my YouTube crashed. Okay, hopefully I am back to being live. Let's see. Okay, there I am. I just wanted to make sure I was still live here. Sorry about that. Just happened to look up and see that my screen had gone back to my iPad's main screen, and it's like, what's going on? All right, so there we go with that, and I am going to just grab my sponge here and bring that brown ink back in again. And just do a little bit of this. And I think I will do just a little bit of that around the outside edges of this one as well. And then I still need to color the screw that's on that sign. So I'm just going to grab this. Or no, that's not what I used because I wanted it to look silver. I've got a silver paint pen. It is from Michael's. So I bought a silver one and a gold one, and that is where I got this. And I like it because it's got a nice fine tip on it. And I just am going to color that little screw in there. There was a little piece of fuzz on the tip of that paint pen. There, got it. Okay, so I will hold it up. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can kind of see it there. All right. Now the fun part. So if you're coming in late, or even if you're not, again, these are the focal point of my card, these fun chicken stamps from Peachy Keen. This is the main part of the chicken, and then these are all the different little faces that you can use on them. They are so cute. Okay, so I stamped these. These ones ended up being a mistake, so I'm going to share it with you so that you can learn from my mistake. This was the very first one I did, and can you see what the mistake was? I stamped the face way too high, and that looked so goofy. And I thought, wow, that doesn't look right. What did I do wrong? Well, yeah, I stamped it way too high. And then this one, I caught the edge of the stamp up here. So I thought, okay, well, neither one of those worked out. Let's try it again. So live and learn. All right. So I went ahead and stamped them and colored them and cut them out because otherwise this video would end up taking all day. And here they are. They are so darling. Oh my goodness. And I used different faces on these ones than I did on my first one I made. So I'll be bringing that in and show it to you. I used alcohol markers to color them with and a little bit of pink chalk to do their cheeks. They're super easy to color because there's just not a lot of coloring on them. All right, so let's get them on the card and get this finished. I am actually going to Now I told you I don't like to pop up anything on the middle, the inside of the card, but popping up on these two panels is fine. So I'm going to pop up both of my little signs here, the banner that says happy birthday and my little sign. So this is going to go right up here. You're a good egg. And then let's get the chickens on. And I'm just going to glue them down flat. And we're going to put this one over here. And I don't want them to hang off the sides much because, again, if you're going to put this in an envelope or mail this card, and I want to see if I got glue. Yeah, I did get a little bit of glue over the edge there. So let me just put, I should have paid a little bit more attention. I wiped the glue off with my finger, but I am just going to put a little bit of my powder tool along there too so that it won't be sticky once it dries. I want to be able to get my card in an envelope. So you don't want your images to hang off the outside edges. All right, so let me see where I can't put glue on this one. And I will just hold my finger over that area so I'll know that or my thumb that is. So I will know that I can't put glue there. Oh, these chickens are so darn cute. All right. And we are going to put the happy birthday right here in the middle. Let me hold it up here so I can see what I'm doing. Too cute. What do you think? I just love it. So then it just lays flat like this to stick it in the envelope. And then when whoever you send it to gets it, all they have to do, it will just basically automatically pop up and they'll be able to see how it's supposed to go. And then it can set up on a shelf or, on a desk or whatever. And be there for them to see it all the time. So here is the first one I made, and as you can see, the faces are sort of the same, but they're not. I did a different face on each one of them. But other than that, they're pretty much the same. My hay turned out a little bit better on the first one I made. I was able to cut it a little bit better, but that's okay. Like I said, the chicken coop is in the background. These guys here are your focal points. They're so cute. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you are not a subscriber already, please consider subscribing to my channel. I like to keep it fun here, and I'm going to hashtag my card yellow. Let's see, yellow in April. That is Anna White's new hashtag that she just revealed this morning. So if you're interested, be sure to go over to her channel. Her last name is spelled W-I-G-H-T. You'll see her listed over here on wherever you're seeing the chat right now. And she is doing a different hashtag each month. So last month it was Bunnies in March, and I made a bunch of cards for that. And so this year, or this month, is yellow, and she did a really cool introduction to the hashtag on her video this time, so you'll have to go check that out and play along. All you have to do is use yellow in whatever you create, and then you can load it up to YouTube here if you do videos, or over on Instagram, and put that hashtag. I'm sure I'm pretty positive I have it right. Yellow in April. I think that's how it goes. But if you go see her video, you'll see what it says. And yeah, that's it. That's my video for today. Happy April. Happy, go play a prank on somebody. A good one. Nice one. April Fools. And I will hopefully see you tomorrow for Saturday Morning Makes. All right. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.